More than I need, what you want, girl, it's yours. Give me your feelings, I just can't ignore. 'Cause all I want is you, baby. Give me your time, all your love, I've been patient.
What's going on, family? It's your boy Russell the Fourth.
Hey everybody, it's me, Brandi.
And it is Tuesday, which means it is another episode of the What They Never Told Us podcast. What up, dude? Wrong button. I hit the wrong button. Hand clap. Been there. It's rookie hour.
No, it's just showing that those things are so unnecessary.
I think they add a lot to the show. I think they do.
All right, y'all. So we are back. Last week we talked about cheating. It was a good episode. We had a great discussion on our Facebook Live. So shameless plug. If you are not joining the Facebook Live sessions, like, what are you doing at this point? It's the season 2, episode 8. You should be there.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't, the time does not line up with what you're doing. Later, we get comments later, but it's really good content, really good discussion, and we get to kick it with y'all instead of just talking to ourselves. So,
and shout out to all of y'all that have found it. There's been some people who have, by way of TikTok or whatever, have found their way to our Facebook or found their way to YouTube. And shout out to y'all, because y'all the real ones. And it's a vibe. I think our idea behind this, when we started, was like, yo, we want community. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to just be up here talking, but we want to kick it with the people, engage with the people. And we love the podcast. We love what we do here. But this is really what we do, just so when we go to Wednesdays, we got something to talk about.
like, for real, I tried to listen to a few podcasts. I wasn't a big podcast girl before we started. But once we started, I'm like, oh, I want to see how other people do it. And, like, I miss that. There are several podcasts that I've tried to listen to. And I'd be, like, talking to the host, like, no, you wrong, or yeah, you right. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to add my 2 cents. So I think it adds a nice element to our show that you actually can get feedback on the stuff that we talk about. So yeah, again, shameless plug. Come to Wednesdays, 8:30-ish.
That part. And last Wednesday was lit. I really enjoyed that, and I didn't know that cheating episode started a little rift.
Somebody was cheating in our comments, y'all. I won't say he was cheating, but he made an attempt to cheat.
He definitely shot a shot. He put his shot up for sure. And I was like, and you was foul because you was like,
tag his girlfriend.
Don't you got a girlfriend?
No, somebody in the comments said that. Like,
oh,
he not
that's
single.
right. Somebody said, oh, you ain't single. I said, that's right. Tag his girlfriend. Not tag his girlfriend. No. Fam. You know how committed you got to be to put up a shot to another girl while you in a relationship on an episode about cheating
in a public forum.
I respect it.
It was a game.
If you gonna do it, if you gonna do it.
And enough people that know him to be like, yo, he not single.
Yeah,
like,
my man's was trying to do that. He put a little, what he say in the comments, he said, nah, like, I'm just giving flowers or something. He said something like, I'm just showing love. So definitely be peeping you out.
He tried to backpedal out that thing. He definitely was like, he was trying to shoot his shot. I see you be working out. You know what I'm saying? You look good. I'm definitely going to hurt your
exposing them. Don't do that, because now they going to go back and be like, who they talking about?
Y'all need to go back and watch that. It was a good episode. We had fun.
Yeah, but there's a couple people that came up and was like, when we introduced a conversation about like what constitutes cheating.
Oh yeah.
And people started trying to have their own conversations about like, nah, this is cheating. That ain't cheating.
Yeah.
If you do
that, that's cheating.
If you do an XYZ, that's cheating. I don't think
a couple couples in the comments, and I think they learned something about they mate. Like, oh, that's cheating. I might want to.
Well, I mean, look, not to stay here because, but it serves to have the conversation. Like, there's a lot of people who end up in like situations just because they don't have the understanding. Like, to me, this is innocent. Okay, to me, it's not. This is something I want to be exclusive for us. This aspect of you, I don't want to share that with everybody. You know, sometimes it's just conversation. Yeah. Like, I don't want you saying good morning to people. Like,
that's cheating.
Say good morning. Don't be waking up saying salutations.
Yeah, thinking about somebody as soon as you wake up. Nah, go on about your day. Kiss me and go.
Oh man.
Anyways, so dope episode, and I was on the Shade Room, which is, I don't know for anybody else, it was like my news source, right?
News?
Yeah, so I was checking up
Gossip or news?
News, okay.
All right.
It's official
I ain't
news.
seen nothing about Ukraine on Shade Room.
It's official news.
Okay,
Anyways,
what's up?
it might be celebrity news, but it's still news. Okay.
I'm here for it. What's up? This Black TMZ.
This wasn't it. This wasn't any news, but I was just scrolling, and you know, sometimes they do the Shade Room Great Debate.
Okay.
And so it was something that I wanted to get your feedback on, and when we go live, kind of talk about it, even though it's not really what our episode is about today. So here's the scenario. It says, I asked this woman I've been talking to for a minute for $100. This is a man, of course. I get, what do you need it for? When do I get it back? A whole bunch of questions. He said, I actually planned a trip for us in the mountains in Colorado for 4 days. The hotel cost $200 a night. Whitewater rafting was $150 a person. Zip lining was $125 a person. And a hot air balloon ride was $250 per person. He also got an SUV that was a $80 a day rental. It says, not to mention the food costs. I had all of this covered. He says, I just canceled everything and got my deposits back. I didn't need the $100. I was just seeing what type of response I get if I ask for it. I didn't ask, when do I get my money back when I was planning the vacations? I was handling all the business. People don't think long term. Test failed. So, thoughts. First of all, just thoughts on testing in your relationship. Is that fair? To test someone without them knowing that they're being tested?
We do that. And I think it's fair. I think when you dating and testing, I want to be careful with that phrase because there's levels to that. Like, you shouldn't set traps for people, but I think it's natural to field where the person you trying to build a life with is at. Like, I think we naturally do that. Maybe not as, as specific and as structured as that. Like, that was pre-planned, that's premeditated.
Yeah,
but we all are like assessing, like, I wonder, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you react to this, how do you react to that? Hey, let me ask you about this, because you're trying to see who are you. And although I don't necessarily like, I don't necessarily agree with setting traps or giving them tests, I think it's important for him to know, like, you spending all this money. I wonder if I need, will she?
See, for me, like, I get what you're saying, and I see how it can be beneficial to know those things about your partner in a relationship. But, like, if it comes up naturally, you know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to manufacture and construct a situation for me to see how I respond. Like, if we're somewhere and you actually need money for whatever reason, and it's like, okay, yeah, I give it to you, or nah, maybe I won't. Okay, that's a natural scenario that came out, but don't set up this whole thing like, I'm gonna plan this elaborate trip, but then I'm gonna ask her for $100. And like,
he ain't do that.
That's what it said.
Well, he did do that, but I don't believe that he paid for that trip knowing that he was gonna spend $100. I think with my man brain, I bet while he's spending all this money, right, and he's trying to figure out what the rest of his week is going to look like that takes your steak week to ramen noodles. Like, that changes how you move in the rest of the week.
Depending on your situation.
Yeah, nah, but you could tell the way he asked for the $100. Nah, he felt that. Nah, bro felt that. So I bet at some point he was like, I wonder. And had he not, would he have known?
First of all, if you even have the suspicion, like, why you going all out for that person, or why are you even in a relationship with that person? Like, if you are, like, in your mind, you're like, I want to do something nice for my babe, and you get to doing it, and you counting up the coins, and you like, man, but now I wonder, why does that change what you already intended to do for me?
Oh yeah, nah, I ain't spending all this money. I can't even borrow $100.
What if I don't have it?
Well, then that's different. She had it.
How you know?
Read
All
it.
she did
Then she was like, when am I going to get it back? When is this?
She might have some bills depending on that.
Now, this is that double standard that men and women have, where there's an expectation for the dude to pay for this, pay for that, get my nails done, do this, do that. You a man, you supposed to whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. You supposed to pay for this. You supposed to pay for the date. You supposed to do that.
Jaw on the floor.
This is what men do. This is the role that men's supposed to play. But the moment he asked for some, what you need it for? What you need to do that? What?
First of all, it's weird, right? To me,
Double
and this
standard.
just could be the type of person that I am. Like, I'm a go-getter and I always have my own. So it's different for me. Like, if I'm asking, it's because I need it. I'm never asking.
But
just to
you're
test
different. You're different.
But listen to this though. If he asked for money, even if it was a genuine need, she wrong for asking what he needed for. It's my money you asking for. Like, I want to know what you needed for and when I'm gonna get it back.
But she's not wrong for that unless when she asked. Now these are all, so we don't know what I'm just making this up. But if when she asks and he just gives, that's his prerogative. For sure. But I'm
questions.
Support that, but I'm gonna feel some way. Like when you ask, I don't do none of that. Even if you different from me. Love me how I love you.
What?
Yeah, nah.
No.
Look. That's not true. So look. You're yes. You're not naturally affectionate, right?
Yes.
But you're in a relationship with me, so you've changed and pivoted some things about how you move based on the needs of me.
Because you need it. But
Support
it's
that.
not just like, oh, you like giving gifts, so now I got to give gifts too because you like the way it makes me, you see the way it makes me feel. So you like, I like giving her gifts. Gifts might not even be your thing, but because you give me gifts, I'm supposed to give you gifts too?
No, that ain't it. No, it's just like, if you see me do for you, when it's my turn to foot, do for me. When it's like,
I get that, but like
I see you do dishes all the time. I hate doing the dishes, but
you be like,
the one time you asked me to do dishes, what I look like saying, I don't. No, I'm gonna do the dishes.
I mean, but you eat off the dishes. It's different. That's a different scenario.
It's not. No, it's not. Listen, this is how it's to say.
Don't ask questions does not mean that she now necessarily has to not ask questions.
I'm just now. Once again, I don't know the dynamics of the relationship, but I'm saying if every time you need me, I'm there. And then the one time I need you, I gotta jump through hoops and go through all of this. But when I need you, but when you need me, I'm gonna have a problem.
Make her jump through some hoops.
Nah, I ain't jumping through nothing. Hey, yeah, I like to cancel this trip. Yeah, nah, we ain't gonna need that rental. It's good.
Might need to jump through a couple hoops next time. But
she on the shade room like, girl, he did all this for me. I should have appreciated him.
No, I'm like that fool cheap. Like he cheap? He started running low and he wanted me to supplement something, so he gonna try to cancel the trip like it was my fault. If you was broke, just say that. Like. You done created this whole scenario.
No, he didn't. Match my energy.
Man.
We fall out different.
Cancel.
She canceled. And the trip canceled. How about that? I spend all this money. You just here. But the moment I need you now, what you need it for?
He didn't even really need it. He was just testing her. Like that's some bull.
Nah, y'all do that all the time.
I ain't testing nobody.
That's you specifically. No. But how many of your friends that went through phones? That's a test.
No, that ain't no test. That ain't no test. That's an investigation.
Whatever. That's worse.
That ain't no test.
That's worse. That's worse. Look, I'm with you. I get it. Ultimately, like, I don't know.
He was wrong.
No, he was not. I don't agree.
All right.
Now, I will say the test aspect of it, like, I don't think I would do that. But if there are certain circumstances that are present, I can see why he got to that point. If I'm giving and giving and giving, eventually I'm going to say, I wonder if she'll at some point give to me.
This is just like my son. He came upstairs and he said, Mom, I love you. And my first reaction, I was like, thank you. He was like, so you not going to say you love me too? Like, don't tell me I love you with the expectation that I'm going to say, I love you back. If you love me, just say you love me. It's the same thing. You want to do something for me. Don't do it with the expectation that when it's my turn, no, do something because you want to do something nice for me.
No.
Don't be testing me.
No.
Yes.
That sounds good when you say it, but no, that's just not realistic.
Nah.
When I tell you I love you, there's never been a time I told you I love you and you just said, okay. Ever.
I mean, because I do love you back. And I always say it. I literally said it to him. I said, thank you. And then I paused.
Thank you.
And I said, I love you too. Because he came up and he hugged me and he was like, you know what? I just love you. And I was like, thank you. Because in that moment, it was appreciated. So I said, thank you. And then I said, I love you too. He was like, oh, I was getting ready to say if that was going to be your only response. And I'm like, but if you love me.
What's this dramatic pause? Love me back? I
was hugging him.
Oh, y'all was in the middle of a hug?
Yes. And I said, thank you while I was hugging him. And then when we broke, I said, I love you too.
And he was like, I was about to say, yeah, you made him wait for it.
Because, like, don't tell me you love me with the expectation that I'm going to say it back. Just tell me you love me because you love me.
Yeah, but no.
Whatever.
Nah, when I say it, I want it right back. Yeah, I love you. Love you too. Boom.
That's not genuine.
Yeah, I give you love, give it back.
That's not genuine.
Huh?
Just say it because you want it. You love me.
Yeah, I might genuinely want to express it to you, but just as much as I want to express it to you, I want it to be expressed back. Why is that wrong?
It's not wrong, but you don't have the expectation and then try to get upset when I don't give you what you came in for.
And who said when I tell you I love you is just because I want you to know? Sometimes I'm telling you I love you.
I'm not talking about us in specifics. I'm just saying in general.
People in general. Who said that when I tell you I love you is just because I want you to know? Sometimes I'll tell you I love you because I want to hear it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It sounds better than
egocentric.
It sounds better than, hey, tell me you love me. Huh? Tell me you love me. I love you.
It's so egocentric. Matter of fact, now
I'm never saying it back.
Reciprocating unless I mean it.
I'm not saying it back to you ever again. Let's see how you do. I love you. I'll meet you with this.
I mean, if you love me to say that, that's just how I feel.
I love you.
There are times when I tell you I love you or I missed you or whatever, and I don't expect you to say it back.
You never do it. Look, I tell Brandi I miss you. You only been going and you just went to work. You're old, realistic, logical. If you don't tell me you miss me back, yeah, I know
I'll miss you.
I know I've been going 8 hours. Lie to me. Tell me, look, tell me what I want to hear. Talk to me nice.
For team too much. I'm not doing it. Like if I don't miss you, I'm not gonna say that I miss you.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna see how you deal with you. I'm gonna give you for a week and let's see how you do.
If I told you we said it at the same time, but you be missing me though.
Huh?
You be missing me though. So even if I say it, you gonna say it back because you mean it.
Nah, nope. I'm gonna deny who I am just so to show you what's like to be with you.
You gonna be in pain, not me.
I ain't gonna be in pain. I missed you. Interesting. What kind of response is that?
You still give a sentimental response. You don't just be a jerk.
What, I missed you. You only been gone 8 hours. Well, you ain't miss me? No.
That's the answer.
That's sentimental.
Why is my eye watering so much? Anyways, take us to the next level, please. Can we graduate this conversation?
Oh, yo, speaking of Shade Room, and this has nothing to do with anything other than I think it's interesting and I don't know. Are you familiar with Meg Thee Stallion and the Tory Lanez drama that happened?
Yeah.
You saw she sat down with Gayle King?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I saw the clips on Shade Room.
I only saw one. I only saw one clip, and it was her detailing what happened. And it's crazy because up until this point, we haven't known. Mm-hmm. We just knew she got shot in the foot, and we're like, how does this happen? So essentially, and I still don't have a lot of clarity. The only clip I saw was her saying that she wanted to leave the party. He didn't. Argument ensues. She tries to leave, and he goes out the car and kind of shoots at the ground. Says "Dance B," blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Her foot ends up getting shot, and to me, I don't know. Of course, I don't know him personally, but I'm trying to think the details of it. It's that was it. Was he? Maybe he was trying to just shoot at the ground. How does that happen? I don't understand how. Argument about wanting to leave turns into you getting shot in the foot or telling her to dance while shooting at the ground.
And maybe it ricocheted, or maybe he shot at the ground and her foot was on the ground and he shot her foot. I don't know.
I'm not talking about how the bullet hit her foot. I'm talking about what goes on in somebody's mind.
Oh, when you insane, like I'm not saying he insane, but
I mean, if you did that, like, I think we can err on the side of caution and just say
we trying to put clarity around somebody who doesn't have clear thoughts. It ain't never gonna make sense.
there's a lot of like, not just women, but there's a lot of people in general who are in environments where like people's response to what's the word? Arguments, conflict. People's response to conflict is so violent, right? Not even just like on a physical standpoint, but just with words, right? And I probably had one relationship where that was a reality and it didn't last long, but I don't know what it's for, but just in general, if you have to deal with that in any way, like if you're scared to leave, if you're afraid to leave, if maybe you're just stuck there, reach out. There's so many supports systems available, but domestic violence, domestic abuse, verbal abuse, that's just never it. That's never going to be okay. And yeah, praying for you.
Really hard to transition after that. But yeah, I support that message 100%.
That's one of the things that you could just kind of like think and not say. Yeah, I could transition it. Don't worry.
We're waiting.
Yeah. Anyways, we love you. Their support. Here today, we are here to talk about, and it's kind of like paying it back to the conversation we were having before about tests and not tests, but what's the word? When we were talking about what was the first conversation you were having?
It was about tests. About testing people in your
the shade room. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Testing people, almost like going to a specific, addressing issues in relationships, non-direct, or maybe just in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And there's this show right now. Oh my God. It's just great TV on Netflix right now. It's called The Ultimatum. If you have not seen it, oh my God. They keep raising the price on Netflix, but if this is what they give it, I'm going to pay it every time. I'm going to pay the $5 every time because it's amazing.
My Netflix free, so.
Yeah, look, Netflix, you the reason why every week I get on here, Netflix says they're getting ready to crack down. Why are you?
Somebody paying for it.
It's people.
It just ain't me.
Here's the thing. You're married to someone who has a Netflix subscription, but you're just so addicted to the concept of getting it free that you won't even like we could just log in on my account on the you still go use your brother's.
Seems like a lot of extra work just when we already
extra
got it
work?
on the TV and it's
extra
free.
Work?
Yeah.
For who? I'm the one that got to log in.
Yeah, it's a lot. You could cancel your subscription.
I'm not doing it.
Okay, see?
I'm not doing
me
that.
either.
First of all, your Netflix is all out of whack. I got to look through 8 rows of anime because your son, like, what?
But it's free.
Huh?
But it's free.
I pay for convenience. I pay for, comfort on these platforms.
So leave me alone.
I pay for YouTube because I don't want ads.
So leave me alone then.
Now you finna get this Netflix where you gonna have your own little
Anyways,
account.
The Ultimatum. It's a great show. And I'm not getting on that because you got too many accounts that I don't want to be intertwined with.
It's a simple delete button. That's it. Delete this account. Easy.
The Ultimatum had us thinking so the premise of the show is almost like, I think we talked about the show Put a Ring on It here before, but they take it to the very extreme. And there are 2 people who are in a relationship. One person wants to get married and the other person may be a little hesitant. So they're giving them the ultimatum. At the end of this situation, the 6 weeks, you either marry me or we're done. But in the process, there are, I think, 5 couples who come and they get to break up and then date someone from the other couple. So all these couples break up and then they hook up with other people and they live with them for 3 weeks as they were married. And then they get to take a break and go back to their original person for another 3 weeks. And then at the end, they have to decide whether or not they want to stay in a relationship. We're not going to spoil it for you all. Go and watch it. It's free publicity for Netflix and The Ultimatum because it is a great show. But it had me thinking this real life. Like, there are several situations where, like, people are in a situation where they want more out of the relationship and their other person refuses to budge. And, like, you present them with, like, this ultimatum of, look, we either go to the next level or we don't. And I started to think, like, why would you want to marry somebody that you have to force to do that? Like, what is the purpose of an ultimatum? How do we get what we want out of that?
Yeah. And not for nothing, I agree with everything you're saying. But before we move forward too far, I want to say this. Nick Lachey and who's his wife? Vanessa. Y'all stole half of the concept for that show. What's the show that we was already watching?
Put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it. Black programming. Okay. Similar concept. The only twist is that on Put a Ring on It, they date just random people. Mm-hmm. But in this show, they're just mixed matching couples pairing with other, people. Not for nothing. Shout out to Put a Ring on It. Yes, we talk about the ultimatum, but this idea was yours, and Nick and Lachey and them making money off of it. It's interesting spin. Anyways, yes, ultimatums. You shouldn't have to do that, but also, like, what if I'm legitimately just not ready to marry you or be a husband?
Yeah, and you just forcing me to do it. Your relationship is going to be trash. Your marriage is going to be absolute trash because he don't want to be there, sis.
That part. But if you got to make him do it, what type of husband is he going to be?
And I think, like,
or her, whatever.
I was getting ready to say that, like, inherent when you hear about these situations, you think, like, it's a girl who wants to be married and she's giving the ultimatum to her guy. But there were two guys in the situation who were like, look, I'm ready for you to be my wife and I need you. What do you think is the extreme for you? Like, I know it's more common that women feel this pressure to get married and the men are a little bit more hesitant. But, like, to me, if it's the girl that's like, she don't want to marry you, to me, that's a red flag. Like, run, bro. You need to get out of this situation because, girl, they be wanting to be married. Like, we want to be married. We want to be the wife. We want to be taken care of. We want to feel the security. So, like, if your girl is in that is in your relationship and she's like, yo, I don't want to marry you.
Yeah,
don't try to force her.
And not for nothing, like, during the show, the girls that were like, I don't want to get married, it was the dude that just had some really whack character flaws. I can't remember was it Nate? What was my man's name? Who wanted kids?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, like, his character was just trash. Like, now we see, like, I'm kind of on the fence here. Like, yeah, I want to get married, but I don't know if I want to do that with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you do see that more on the opposite end. Like, mostly and usually it's the guy that's like, yo, I'm not ready, I'm trying to wait, I'm trying to get my finances together.
That's such a whack excuse.
It's consistent, it's sturdy, fellas. If you're not ready, always go there. Always use that one.
It's such a whack excuse.
I just want to make sure when we get married, I got things in order. Like, there's so many things I want to do, and sturdy. She got to respect
First of all, she with you right now. She don't care. Like, if she needed your money to be at a certain place, she wouldn't be with you.
It don't got nothing to do with you. It's about what I want for my marriage.
That's so trash.
It has nothing to do with
trash
you.
Excuse.
Like, I know you're gonna be with me, but I'm just saying,
So we should just break up because that would be my response. Until you get your stuff together to take care of me the way you want to take care of me, like, I'm not gonna accept your scraps right now.
There's your green light, kings.
You trying to get out?
Run.
So horrible.
Look, but I mean, I don't know. Like, yes, that is usually an excuse, but not financially, but in general, character-wise, maturity-wise, just life-wise in general, I might just not be ready to be a husband.
Right.
I love you. Mm-hmm. I'm committed to you. I'm building with you, but I'm not ready now. You're ready now. I'm not.
And not for nothing, in the situations where it was the women who were giving the ultimatum, you could tell, like, they had this rosy Barbie and Ken idea of what it's like to be married. And, like, truth is, it ain't none of that. Like, there are good moments. Like, don't get me wrong. And overall, the feeling of having somebody that is just committed to you. But marriage is work. And I feel like if you have to pressure somebody into that, when the stuff hit the fan, and it will, in whatever situation, it's gonna get rough. Like, if you don't have somebody that's committed and wants to be there, their first instinct is going to be to run. to leave, to duck out, because like I ain't want to be here in the first place. You made me. That's where you get those situations. You made me get married. You made me do this and do that. And it's just trash. Like, if you have somebody that's legitimately comfortable enough to tell you, like, I'm not ready, take that for his word. And if you are truly ready, then that's not the person that you want to be with.
Yeah. There was a few right after we got engaged, the proposal made a little splash on the internet. You know what I'm saying? People was like, "Oh, this is so sweet and so beautiful. Oh my God." That was one of the more consistent things that I got hit up about. Is my man isn't ready. You know,
yeah.
I have people I know from around the way in the DMs like, "Hey, this is what I'm dealing with. Mm-hmm. How did you get to this point? How did you know you were ready?" Mm-hmm. I've been with this person X amount of years, and in my mind, it just seems like the natural progression of a relationship. You know what I mean? Some of them were like, "Yo, we've had kids." Some of them were like, you know, we've bought property together. Mm-hmm. We've done all these things to me that just feel like things you do when you're married, but he's not ready. How do I deal with this? And number one, girls coming to me with that is like, what do you want me to? I can't speak on behalf of
this other man.
But
they see you doing it, so they like, what am I missing? They need to know. Like, is there some? I think without saying it, they're asking like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, absolutely, and even there were some conversations I had that were like, what's wrong with him? And honestly, like, when people show you their hand, you gotta believe it. And as difficult as it is, you can feel it. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
I have to believe that in some of those situations, like, they're looking for you to say, like, oh no, he gonna get there. He gonna, you know, they're looking for a reason to hold on. When in your heart, you know, like, this person just cannot give me what I want. But when you've committed your life, like you said, children or businesses or whatever to a person, it's hard to think that like where you envision this relationship going, it may never go there.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking for any hope. Oh, he got engaged. Let me see what I need to do or what I need to say or how it felt for him. You know, so you can try to make that my situation. But the truth is, like, if somebody's not ready, it's nothing that you're going to be able to do to make them ready. Giving them an ultimatum or none of that. Like,
yeah, legitimately. And not for nothing. I said this about the other show.
Put a ring on it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm saying about Ultimatum, this is the dumbest premise and concept for a show. Like, if somebody's not ready to marry you, you putting them in a situation where you invoke the fear of losing them to make them make a decision that they've communicated verbally or with actions, saying I'm not ready. Just because you force me in the scenario doesn't mean it's going to lead to a fruitful situation. Yeah. Now you setting yourself up. You setting yourself up for the okie doke. Like anybody, man or woman, you can't go into this lightly. Marriage, like it's one of the most serious commitments that a person can make in their lifetime, and the most difficult thing to carry out. The most difficult assignment to carry out, because we're talking about your life. Like, it's a lifelong commitment that you're making. And there's very few things that we commit to do for all of our life. Even parenting. Like, yeah, I'm gonna always be your mom.
At 18, you got a guy.
But at some point, you're gonna be off running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, how you doing? Come see me on the holidays. Give me a call, let me know how you doing. But eventually, you're off living your own life. But this is like a lifelong thing.
And some of the women who were given the ultimatum, that's what I heard them say. Like, I just don't know if I'm ready to spend the rest of my life with this person.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't have nothing to do with finances. And that's really what it boils down to. Like, not only just spending the rest of your life, like, this is just somebody that you wake up to and y'all go y'all separate ways and then y'all go to bed together at night. Like, this is doing life with somebody.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy task.
Yeah. And this one of them things that, like, I'm old school about. Like, and I know everybody rolled their eyes. Oh, here you go. That's old way of thinking. It's archaic. But there's some things that we've gotten away from that are just common sense and good, safe thinking. One of which is like, if you're doing everything that a married person does, don't put an expectation on somebody to make a commitment to you. It's like, why?
No, I agree with that 100%.
Why not? If you want to access certain things from me, the relationship needs to evolve. I'm not investing in property with you when we haven't even decided where we're going as a couple. Not just talking about it like, yeah, I want to do this one day. All right, what's your timeline? Us, before we even started this podcast, we really had to have a conversation. Like, I was all like, let's do this. Let's boom. And I remember we were driving and she said, is it smart for us to like be going into business together when we're not married?
Period. Because I was like, you ain't about to try to break out on me, take half of my stuff.
Not legitimately. Like, you let this podcast had like started to get monetized early, like in the first season before we're married. Now when we have issues, what legal ground is there to stand on to say who gets what?
It was the same thinking like when we got a house, when we were started looking for a house, and we knew where it was going, but I was like, yo, I'm not gonna put my house on the market at least until we get engaged. Yeah. Like that, at the very least, like I need a commitment from you that says like, because this is, this is my kid's home, this is my home, like I own this. So if I give it up and I don't got nothing to show for it in the end of it, like I'm gonna be irritated, to say the least. Sure. So it's too much at risk. And so I agree with what you're saying. Like, I don't believe in let me say it like this. There are girlfriend boyfriend benefits, and then there are husband and wife benefits. Yeah. And it's up to you. Like some of those things, but like there's some girls who take it to the extreme. Like, I'm not cooking for him. I'm not cleaning up after him. Like, but
it's levels
in my mind, he need to know you can do that stuff, sis. So like you just give him a little bit, cook him a dinner every now and again so he know that you're capable. But like, I agree. Like there's some stuff that just, I'm not going to do with you. And I did that. Like I had a baby, I was living with the man, and eventually we did get married. But like, I realized in the end when it went bad, like we did all this backwards. Like if we would have separated church and state, we probably would have never got married. But it's because those things happened, then it felt like what you call, or what people term, the natural progression of the relationship. It was like, nah, it was the natural progression of some other stuff that forced us into a marriage that we weren't ready to be in. And like when you start doing all of that stuff prematurely, it skews how you see your relationship. Yeah. So then now we're together. Oh, it just feels like we should get married because we done did all this other stuff. But truth be told, y'all should not be married.
Yeah. And you must have learned from that, because Brandi is the epitome of this. Brandi got the wife versions of everything. Like, we got married. I'm like, oh, we kissing different. This your wife kiss? You telling me you got 8 different versions of the way you kiss?
And I'm gonna take it up a level depending on every year we marry. You might unlock a new level.
Look, I'm sitting here still. Look, we just been married a couple weeks. I'm like, yo, you had that in the toolkit the whole time. The food hitting different. The meals is getting more lavish. Look, I'm sitting here like, this is crazy.
He said, what, the chicken chop suey?
she made Chinese food the other night. It's beyond me. I said, when do you do this? I thought I knew your meals. I thought it was spaghetti and fish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew there were certain meals. You breaking out new recipes? Period. This is a married recipe?
Yes, it is.
Oh, my. I'm trying to see what happens every year. I'm like, what did I unlock this year?
Yes, it is.
I'm here for it.
Like, don't be giving away all y'all secrets, ladies and men.
That's my problem. I done came in too hot. I done gave poems and songs, and I don't know. I got to develop some more skills. I done came in too hot. I should have baby stepped you into my greatness.
But it's still, I think what we're trying to say is like, make them want to marry you.
Yeah.
Like, if you're giving them every single thing that married people do, except for, and then this when you get hit with that excuse, well, it ain't nothing but a piece of paper. We do all this. We do all this anyways. Like, what? Why do we need to get married? Why do I need the government in my business? Like, I done heard it all. Like,
yeah.
But it's true. When you do that, I mean, I know there are other benefits to being married, but when you've really laid everything that you have out to offer on the table, and he or she is living in that reality right now, there is no motivation to get married.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
If you find yourself stuck, I'd start pulling back. It ain't too late to take it back. Yeah. No, I'm not doing that no more. Nah, you don't get to lay up under me every night. No more.
Not real. Like it's old school. It's not even old school. It's just it's good common sense, right? Like we've taken marriage out of family. And not saying that any family is less of a family because they're, your parents aren't married. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that marriage has lost its value in a lot of our minds and in our hearts because we see so many scenarios where there's family apart from marriage. And marriage is not just a piece of paper. It's a verbal and a spiritual commitment. It's like intention. I can say to you all day, like, I'm committed to you, but it's different when you like make a spiritual vow to somebody. Like that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's so many people who are functioning without covenant. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we live together. Yeah, we've got combined income. We've got multiple children, but I want to get married.
And now what?
It's like, why?
Yeah.
I see so many people with jacked up marriages. We got something good. It's going to mess it up. You know what I mean? Like, nah. It's not. How's it going to
be wrong?
Huh?
You might not be wrong.
No, they are wrong. First of all, if marriage is just a sheet of paper,
no,
like
I'm
you're
not
saying
saying that. But if you've been operating a certain way for, let's just say, 10 years, right?
Yeah.
You're not married, you got kids, but y'all live together, your money is, and then now one person changes and is like, you know what? We've been doing all this. Now I want to get married. Like, obviously something in your mind feels different from what you're doing. And if you get in that situation and you start acting out a different scenario than what you've been living for the past 10 years, that might be scary to somebody. That might feel like, no, I don't want it to change. Like, obviously you feel the need for change because you're saying we should get married. So those changes might not be something that I want. I just want to keep it like we is. I'm not saying it's a valid reason, but for somebody who's in that situation, it very well could be. Like, I don't want things to be different. And then what do?
Yeah.
You give up the life that you've had for 10 years? Or do you give up your desires that you really want within yourself? Like, you're putting yourself in a very tough situation. When we started, and I knew, like, when you asked me the other day, like, when did I know? And I told you it was a series of things. But when I was sure, like, you was on a tight, and I would say you was on a tight timeline, but that's when you kept getting the questions like, well, when you gonna do it? Like, I'm ready to get engaged. Like, I'm dropping hints because in my mind, like, it don't take all this time to decide that I'm what you want. You either know or you don't.
Eye roll.
Why is that an eye roll? It's not true.
Your timeline is what?
My timeline was expedited.
I was about to say we've been together for 2 years. We're already married.
Is you complaining?
Huh?
Is you complaining?
I'm not complaining, but you make it seem like it shouldn't take this long. It didn't take long at all.
No. But you knew.
Very expedited.
Did I force you to do this? This is the point that I'm trying to get at.
Did you force me to marry you?
Yes. Nah. Did I force you to propose to me?
Yeah.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you had the ring months before.
It's because you was pressuring me. It was crazy.
Okay, will you be serious for just a second?
I'm just playing. No, of course not. You didn't force me.
So you knew, right?
Yeah.
So for me, like, that's what I'm saying. When you know, it don't take all this time. Yeah. But if it's been 15 years and you still don't know, it's time for some reevaluation of the relationship.
Ain't no facts. I think to me that's the biggest thing. Like, come in. Huh?
Yeah. Go ahead. You got it.
Oh. For me, if I've been with you for an extended amount of time and you're still unclear of who you want me to be in your life, that's more telling than anything. Like, yeah, we can have conversations or, why or this or that, and we can go around in circles. But ultimately, the fact is, it's been this span of time. I'm sure about where the role I want you to play in my life. If you're not sure about me after kids, after this, after that, then clearly there's a huge glitch in the matrix. There's a chink in the armor for sure.
And then what does that feel like? So like after, I'm not even gonna say an extreme, but like after 5 years, you've pretty much given your life to somebody, and now it's like, well, I'm not sure that that's what I want, and you have to decide to walk away. Like for me, I need to know that in a couple years, like
Yeah,
because you know what I'm saying, especially at 37. Like how old am I?
you're 37. You're old enough to where you forget how old you are.
I said, am I 38 and I'm up here lying?
You 37.
Okay, at 37. If we weren't married yet,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I don't know I have 5 years to give to you? Like, what if then I meet somebody who wants kids?
Yeah.
Like, now I'm, 43?
Yeah.
And I got to try to have a baby, and it's high risk, and it's, you know, like when you're, especially as you're getting up in age, like them decisions need to come quicker rather than shorter.
For sure.
Because I don't have 5 years to invest and just be like, no, it's not really what I want.
Nah. we have to, and this is for those of y'all who are in that situation. We've got to find the courage to just roll the dice and bet on us.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna say her name. I ain't putting nobody's business out there, but I ran into a friend of ours, a friend of mine from high school. I ran into her at Walmart. And she stopped me dead in the middle of the aisle, and we got to chopping it up, and she was congratulating us on our engagement. And I could just see she was dumb happy. She was cheesy. She was joking. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Oh, you out here? Whoop. She said she was talking about this person she's dealing with. I've known her to be in a very long-term relationship, so I naturally assumed that she was talking about this person I know that she's been with for longer than my kids have been on the earth." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Since we've been in high school.
Since we've been in high school. She said, "Oh, no, we've been done." I said, "Oh, y'all got divorced?" She said, "We were never married." I said, "Oh, I didn't know that." She said, "Yeah, nah, he never made that commitment to me, and I got tired of waiting. So eventually I just had to do what's best for me." But when I say the glow this girl had on her was so big, and she got to talking to me about how just in this short span of time, this man has already made it clear what his intention is. You have no idea. And this is somebody who's got kids, multiple kids. You talk to me about what it's like to be a woman with 3 kids, and you've got it in your head like, man, who is going to walk into this scenario and love me, and not just me, but love my children as well? I'm telling you as a man that there are men who are just looking for quality people and are looking for women who legitimately love them and love them well. And with that, will love everything that comes with them. You know what I'm saying? That exists. I'm not saying that there aren't people who have a really flawed idea of what they want, or, I mean, have a specific idea of what they want, but I'm saying it is possible. My grandma, Granny Marion Ackridge, got married at 80 years old to Reverend Bussy at 80, and spent a decade on cloud 9 with the man of her dreams at 80. And there's a lot of y'all who have already written the eulogy on your love life because it didn't happen the way you thought it was going to happen, or because it didn't happen the way that you envisioned. I'm telling you that as long as you're living, as long as you're breathing, as long as you have breath in your body, God has a plan. It's not over with. It's not done. And there's somebody for you.
And if you're in a situation where like it's not that person, like it's okay to walk away. No matter how many kids, how many years, whatever. If you have a desire for something, it don't even have to be marriage. Maybe you're with somebody who's just like, look, I don't want to have kids, but you know that's a legitimate desire of yours. Like no matter how long you've been with them, there is somebody out there who will give you exactly what you need. I had a conversation with somebody who asked me. I love how, because we're in a relationship and we live out loud, like people think we're experts and they come to us for like
I'd be like,
tell me how to do it.
What you want me to do with that?
Came to me and said, how did you know he was the one? And I said, it's not, I can't tell you how to know that for somebody. But one thing that I can tell you is that if you find somebody who only adds and does not take away, that's somebody worth investing some time in to figure out if he's the one.
Absolutely.
Like, when I had this situation, he said it. I was like, man, I got 3 kids. I'm divorced. I got all this emotional baggage that I'm not willing to unpack. Like, nobody's going to want to be with me. And so I had become that person who was just like, you know what, guy, if you don't got nobody for me, then I'm good by myself. Like, I'll be fine. Lo and behold, he got a man that was the love of my life way back when, and was like, just open yourself up to that. Like, and you have to believe in the possibility that there is somebody who's going to love you exactly the way you need to be loved. And if you're stuck in a situation and it's not that person, you're not getting what you want, and you have to compromise to the point where it's detrimental to your mental health, to your emotional health, to your physical health, walk away.
It's
okay.
Yeah. And it's not that easy, but it's so worth it. Like, and I'm not gonna keep bringing up our friend from Walmart, but she said this nigga stole my youth. I didn't even go to prom because I was with him. Like, I look back on all the things I missed just to get to this point in my life, and you still can't look at me and say you're my wife. I got to make some decisions.
Yo, that's a legit gripe, and I'm sure you know what I'm saying with kids. And just the emotional connection that happens with somebody, with being with somebody for that length of time.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
But you gotta jump out the plane.
You gotta do it.
You gotta jump out the plane.
And what's on the other side?
Yeah.
Is better than anything, and all that pain it makes it feel purpose.
Even being by yourself for a season.
It's important.
But just knowing that you made a decision, stood behind what you believe, what you want, and what you desire, and you made a decision that was for you. Even if you have to spend a season alone, it's better to be alone for you than to be with somebody else
that's against you.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that, you know, we talked about someone that adds versus taking away.
Yeah.
Some people just taking away your time.
For real.
Like, for real. They could be making you feel good. They could be doing all that. But if you're not valuing me, and if you're not calling a spade in this relationship, you're taking time. And that's the biggest commodity.
It is.
It's time.
You can't get none of that back.
Nah,
they
you
can
don't get
take
that
your
back.
money. You can get your money back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot get your time back, or like she said, your youth. Like, that's huge.
Absolutely.
That's huge.
Time is the currency that when you invest it, it don't come back as what it left. Like, you're not getting time back. You know what I'm saying? You can invest time and get, you know, joy and peace and all that back, but you're not getting time back.
And it's sometimes in a situation, like, you could leave a situation and that person does realize that, like, yo, I need to get myself together.
Yeah.
This is what I really want. But you have to be bold enough to make that decision for yourself. Like, this is not what I want, and I'm going to walk away. And I pray that you get it together, or that you come to the realization that I'm what you want. But the longer you stay, the longer you jeopardize that. Like,
absolutely,
you still have to go live your life. And if somebody is not making a commitment to you, leave. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Bounce. If that's what you want. Now, there are people who just want to be in relationship and don't want to get married. That's cool. We ain't talking to y'all. Period. Bye. But if you have a desire for kids, for marriage, and your partner is basically taking a hard stance and just saying, like, no, or I'm not ready, you have to determine what's an appropriate timeline for you. And if they can't meet it, you got to bounce.
Absolutely. Sometimes the best response is silence. Sometimes the best destination to be in a relationship is walking away. Like, it sounds kind of like counterproductive to what you want, but ultimately sometimes, like, no, I'm going to remove myself, and maybe my presence out of your life will make you realize what I added to your life.
But
maybe
now it's your decision.
Yeah, but if I step out and you don't come for me, now I know.
Yeah,
for sure.
I know where I stand.
I don't know. And that's not an ultimatum. That's just me making the decision for what's best for me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
if me stepping away makes you realize, cool. If it doesn't, okay, cool. Either way,
I'm gonna be
this
good.
is what I need. If you can't provide that for me, then I got decisions I need to make.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there was one couple on the ultimatum who decided at the end, you know what, I can't do it. And it was the girl who gave the ultimatum, and the guy couldn't meet the expectation. And when she a little chatty Cathy, and you know she extra, but you saw the place that she was in at the reunion, and you saw that this was somebody in the moment that I thought I couldn't live my life without.
Yeah.
But I realized that me in the relationship being okay and being whole, it's better than me getting half of what I want just so I can be with a person.
Absolutely.
And she walked away and she found somebody. I think it had been 6 months since the show had filmed. She had found somebody and she was happy and she was getting everything that she needed. Like, that's okay. Matter of fact, that's more than okay. That's what we all should be doing. Yeah. We don't have to compromise on what we want. Sometimes you have to compromise on who you want. And that's a bit another discussion. Because sometimes we think that we can, because it's who we want, they're going to give us what we want. And that's not true.
There's another guy who second episode said, you know what? Forget this show, babe. Come here.
Come here. I need to marry you.
I love you. I don't know what we do here. But who these people? This ain't us. I want you to marry me. Let's go.
I don't want you dating nobody else. Like,
what I'm finna do?
We can't even execute it because the thought is driving me crazy that you're gonna go live with somebody else.
Yeah, and not even just that. Like, I know what I want, and yeah, I'm scared.
But I'm just gonna get it.
But I'm not gonna go through all of this when I know what I want. And that's also another message. Like, we wrapping up, but ultimately, like, fear is natural. And when you're talking about something that's as heavy as marriage, especially when there's so many examples of what it looks like when it goes bad, you know, like we always see that the marriage that failed, what people go through when they're hurt. I don't care whether you're on Facebook, you on Shade Room, you see what it looks like when people are hurt. And it's a scary thing to avail yourself to that type of hurt or make yourself available to that type of pain. And when you love somebody and when you love them well, you're really giving them the green light. Like, this woman has more power to hurt me than anybody else in the world. But it takes a faith, and the only faith that comes through like real, authentic love for me to feel safe in that. Like, for me to give her the keys to hurt me and still feel so secure that she won't. Oh, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. So I'm saying what I'm saying. If you're scared, I want to challenge you to unearth where that's coming from. Whether it's seeing it go bad, you're afraid because you don't want to relive that. Maybe you've seen divorce closely to you. Maybe you've dealt with tumultuous situations and you've seen it play out badly and you're scared. That's natural. On the other side of fear, usually, is some of the greatest joy.
And not for nothing, there's a key to avoiding all of this ultimatum stuff. And it's just knowing what you want before you get in a relationship. Taking the time to be alone and really know what you want and what you deserve out of somebody, so that when you get back into the dating pool, you're only seeking people who meet that. You're looking for people who match up with what you want and what you desire. It's the same reason why I say it time and time again. I don't believe in dating for potential. No, date somebody who is on the path to getting what they know that they deserve, and you have the ability to demonstrate that they can be everything that you need. Even if they're not in it right now, they realize that they have the potential to be that, and they're striving to do that for you and for them.
That part.
You will never have to give them an ultimatum. That's the reason why, even though I was saying I want to be married, he was already making the steps to do that, because everything that I was saying that I wanted, he wanted it too.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to force somebody to give you something that they don't want to give you.
That part.
And even if they do, it's going to go bad.
Absolutely. And not for nothing, we got to stop trying to make the sneaky link turn into something else. I'm not saying that it can't, but like I'm gonna throw myself at the table. I'm gonna use my situation as whole. Like me, I'm emotions, feelings, and all that. So even when I clearly wasn't in the space to be in a serious relationship, I still am me.
Yeah.
So there were girls who I had no intention of like marrying or like even being in a serious relationship with, but I'm still like, good morning. I'm still like, how are you doing? You had a rough day? Oh, yo, tell me about it. That's because that's just me. And if I'm like dealing with you over an extended period of time, it's natural for me to like talk about things, feelings, and emotions. And oftentimes, and what I didn't realize is I am creating a dynamic where now there's expectation because I'm playing a role in a presence in somebody's life. But just because I'm there doesn't mean that I'm right. Does that make sense?
Period.
Is that yes. Sometimes we do this podcast, I listen back and I'm like, yo, that didn't make no sense. And I'm hoping there's clarity when I'm saying this. There are a lot of good people in your life, and just because they're good people doesn't mean that they're the right people. Does that mean? Yeah. Does that make sense? So you might have somebody who you're entertaining and they're nice, they make you feel good. The time that you spend together is great, but you can recognize that they're not in a place to give you what you want. You know what I mean? Like I was clearly
damaged. You need, because that's what's more important.
Yeah, I was clearly damaged. I was clearly like still working through stuff, but I'm laid up with people. I'm engaged in sexual activity with people, and all of these girls ended up like, well, what is happening next? Like, when are we gonna be in a relationship? And I'm like, huh? How did we get to this point? You know what I'm saying?
Because you out here pretending.
I'm not pretending. I never was like, yo, we're gonna be this, we're gonna be that.
But I'm just pretending that you're doing relationship stuff. Let's say that.
Yeah, like I'm not built to be out here like that. To me, I'm just being nice. Like what is it? I didn't know there was such like mean men in the world. So like the fact that I'm just like talking to you aside from when I want to hook up with you meant something. So they this finna be a thing. I'm like, nah, like I'm just nice. Like I just saw you last night, so it's weird that I don't talk to you the next day. I don't know. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Like I'm putting myself out there to show like this is how we end up in these situations.
It's not always bad intentions, though.
Yeah. And there were some people you end up like really developing feelings for, right?
Yeah.
But now we've developed feelings based on moving in a way that we never were supposed to move.
100%.
We're having sex. There's soul ties that are forming. And now we just spent so much time together in the same space. We've become a couple without really making a commitment to be a couple. It feels like this is just what we should be doing. Now there's expectation for something that I never intended for you to be in my life.
But nobody intended to do harm to one another. Like, it's just the way that y'all operate. It just brings the importance of having those conversations up front. Like, you don't move in, have sex, have kids, and then be like, where we going? Nah, know that before. Date 3?
That ain't funny, I'm sorry.
What's your plans? Like, so, like, we in this to be in a relationship, or you just want to hook up, or like, just let me know up front. And sometimes I think guys are, not even just guys, but people are scared to say, nah, I just want to hook up with you. Because they think, no, you ain't going to want to hook up with me. So we lie and we say,
we being deceitful. Like,
I
see a future with you. Like, your vibe different. Like, I really like you. Like,
or are you the type of girl I could see myself with? But am I the girl? Because there's a difference.
I mean, we building, we vibing. I hate all these words.
I'm going to put you under pressure.
I hate all these words that don't mean nothing, but they all of a sudden they mean something.
Oh, no, that was your jam. It's a vibe.
Yo, it was effective.
That was your jam.
Yo, like,
what do that mean? Why you keep saying that?
Because that's what you used to say to me. Like, I'd be like, because this is what I would say this. Because after a couple times I ran into this, I would say, hey, look, I'm not looking for anything serious. Like, at this point, if that's what you're looking for, I don't want to waste your time. Oh, no, like, I just like your vibe. Okay, that's the thing. Oh, okay, you just like my energy, my vibe. Okay, I'll give you energy all day. Then they get mad when they're like, so what's up? What happened to my vibe? I thought we were vibing.
Compromising just to be with somebody. Like,
Yeah.
Nah, you know you don't like that vibe. You see that he a good man and you want to be with him. Say that up front.
That part. Thank you. I ain't gonna go down that street.
Say it up front. No, because for real, that's how we end up in these situations.
Stop lying.
Now I'm expecting.
You know you want more.
You think, oh, I'm gonna give it to him and then he gonna want to be with me. False.
This is very false.
False.
Very false.
Oh, I'm gonna show him I can cook and I'm a good woman. He gonna want to be.
No,
with me.
you're showing him that he can get everything he wants from you without
committing.
you being the one. I'm gonna milk this cow until I can't milk it no more.
When she get tired, she'll tell me.
Yeah, she cooking. She cooking, throwing it back. She making my stop.
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm
her
here
kids
for it
got
all.
all the good snacks. I'm eating these fruit snacks. What's up?
Nah, see, that's why I was like, what we doing?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we gonna sit out in the car until we figure it out.
But it was just different. Like by the time I got to you, I had realized like I'm not this person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not fulfilled in this. Like I'm leaving from these situations and I legitimately feel like I'm dying. Like it's killing me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So by the time I got to you, I was like, save me. Like, please. We was at that park talking. I had no intentions of anything. Like on some real. Like
We both said that.
I usually was coming situations like, yeah, I wonder, yeah, I'm trying to, you know what I mean? But I literally was just like, I was looking for something real and authentic. And I was so glad it was that. I was so glad it was that. Period, Pooh. Is that what they say? No?
All right,
You
y'all.
gonna quit judging me.
We have come to the end of our discussion.
Whatever. Now this was good.
It was
This
great.
good. I like this
It was good.
conversation.
It was on the fly conversation too, y'all. So
That part. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be live 8:30-ish, YouTube and Facebook. Come holla at us.
we completely forgot about YouTube. YouTube is a great place. People have dropped off and just come to Facebook. We're still there.
What's happening is like there are people who will come to the YouTube
Yeah.
and we'll be engaging with people, talking back to people. They're like, I don't see these comments.
Y'all gotta come to Facebook.
So when they find out it's on Facebook, they go to Facebook. There's been a few people from TikTok to people who just found us from the podcast who they start off on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they'll be talking to us and they'll be like, I want to kick it with the people. Like, where the people at? They come to Facebook. Facebook is where it's at, y'all.
It's where it started. It's where it's at.
Yeah. Search what they never told us. We're there.
Come find us tomorrow night, 8:30-ish. And always remember, we love love.
Y'all should love too.
Peace.
Peace.